So what does this mine collapse mean for Turkey's already embattled Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan? This week, my colleague, Asieh Namdar, sat down with James Jeffrey, former U.S. ambassador to Turkey, and she started by asking him if this latest disaster is a black mark on the country's mining and safety record.
This is a terrible tragedy for Turkey. What we do know is Turkey's safety record on mines and generally labor accidents is terrible. It has per ton of coal mined, it has 6 times the accident rate, for example, of China. It's the worst in the OECD.
So this mine in Soma was given an inspection in March. It passed the safety inspection. It kind of makes you wonder, if this mine passed the safety inspection, what about other mines that have passed the safety inspection? How can people have any trust in this inspection system when it clearly failed?
Exactly. It isn't even something to wonder about. 4 years ago, the Board of Architects and Engineers in Turkey, a respectable board, said exactly the threats that came to bear on this mine were present, that this mine was very, very dangerous. The authorities did not act. They gave it a full bill of rights. And of course, it turns out that Ali Gurkan, who is the CEO of the mining company, is a close friend and ally of Prime Minister Erdogan's. So yes, these questions are real.
So let's bring up Prime Minister Erdogan. This has certainly been a public relations nightmare for him. We've seen reports of him in getting into some kind of altercation with a protester. His aide apparently kicked someone, a protester in Soma. How much has this disaster damaged his image, his public image?
This is a very, very important question. As we saw in the votes last month, he got some 43 to 45% of the vote. And that most of those people who voted for him believe deeply in him and his vision for Turkey. Very few of them will be shaken by what has happened. The problem for him, however, is in August, just 3 months away, he wants, by every account, to run for president and needs 50% of the vote. So he'll have to keep all of the votes he got a month ago, and he'll need additional votes, probably from the Kurdish party, because he has a very good opening to the Kurdish population. But nonetheless, he cannot risk something like this. This is going to put into question his ambitions to become Turkey's most powerful politician since Ataturk.
So if it's something he wants so badly, why would he make comments like accidents like this happen all over the world? Why would he have this scuffle with a protester? Why would an aide get himself in this situation, kicking? I mean, his image has been tarnished greatly among the Turkish population, but at the same time, he still has a huge following, doesn't he?
Yes, this is very troubling. I know him quite well. My answer, to the extent I could, would be to say that he just basically assumes he can do no wrong. He's defensive, and that he has the support. The support will not be shaken or changed, and so that those who oppose him are the enemy, and he can do with them whatever he will.
Do you think this event, this very sad incident, will trigger the kinds of protests that we saw last summer?
I think it's a different group, and this is where it's important. The protests were from the elite, highly educated, urban part of the population, which he writes off in any case, the women who don't wear headscarves and that kind of thing. But the Soma miners, these are average working class Turks from exactly those parts of the population that typically vote for him. And he has to be very, very careful about this. And he's not being careful.
Where do you see Erdogan being in a month from now? And do you think he is truly a unifying force, or is he the kind of person who is causing more division and is more of a polarizing figure?
He is no longer a unifying force. He was. Right now, Turkey's ability to be, to remain a middle-income country and a major exporting country is being placed in question. You have to have rules, you have to have inspections, you have to have checks and balances, you have to have rule of law to be an international competitor, and there's now a big question mark over Turkey.